You make money while you drool on your pillow. Welcome back. Today's topic is real estate. Real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Here are my reasons why. You can control the investment, unlike stocks or mutual funds, which the market makes go up and down, and you have totally no control of that. There are no taxes to pay on the appreciation, the increase in value from year to year. It's tangible and real. You can touch it, and it's local. It is insurable against major losses. You have enforceable lease laws in place to protect that income. It generates cash each month. You make money while you drool on your pillow. You can leverage the ownership of it. Try that with stocks. If you borrow money to buy stocks, you can get in trouble very quickly. You can delegate any work or management that needs done. It's passive income, which means you're making money while you sleep, unlike a job where you have to go to the job and work. You can even postpone capital gains when you sell it by doing what they call a 1031 exchange, where you exchange the property for another property. Very low overhead. There's no storefront needed to run that business. And you can put each property inside an LLC to protect all your other assets. About the only downside to real estate is that it's not liquid. If you need to sell it, that can take some time. Different forms of real estate is your home. Your home is often your biggest asset and your biggest liability. Raw land, although it generates no income, and zoning laws determine largely what you can do with the property. You can't do anything you want. Residential real estate rentals are the easiest to get, but require a lot of management. Commercial or industrial properties have less management requirements, but are a little harder to obtain. Let's talk about your home. Generally speaking, you want to be the worst house in the best neighborhood. Don't be the best house in the neighborhood, because there won't be any chance for substantial improvement. Your housing costs should be no more than 30% of your spending budget. If you are able to come up with a 20% down payment, you can avoid PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, which is just an added cost to the mortgage. So for a house you want to buy, or any other property, you want to buy into the best neighborhood you can afford. The value will hold and grow better. What makes a good neighborhood? Closeness to schools, closeness to grocery stores, the distance from industrial properties, which can have noise and pollution. People who have become wealthy with real estate tend to buy, especially homes, tend to buy older homes prior to 1975 building. And they don't buy into these new neighborhoods with their McMansions. They take their time in buying, and they're willing to walk away from a deal if the money isn't right. They don't pay the initial asking price. In other words, they don't fall in love with a property. And many times they find bargains because of divorces or foreclosures. For rental properties, make sure the zoning is correct. There's a lot of illegal zoning properties out there. You want to be aware of that. Check, obviously, zoning, and then you want to check current use restrictions that the property complies with those. Check for easements, meaning somebody has a right to cross your property or a driveway or something like that. And obviously you want to prefer fully rented, and you want to check the current leases, make sure they're all up to date, and that the prices are in line with market forces. For residential properties, they're easier to get into and better to own for the reason that people always need a place to live. You want to be aware, if it's a large property, 10 to 20 units, there might be requirements that you have professional management. Then now you have employees. Avoid condos. They tend to not appreciate as much, and there's a lot of restrictions. Condos can be plagued with litigation brought by other tenants, other people, or other owners. So you could be placing yourself in the middle of a mess. You lose a lot of control when you're dealing with an HOA. Commercial and industrial can mean a lot less management, but it doesn't mean no management. One real estate investor that I knew would go around and shop for a new tenant if he even got a hint that a current tenant was thinking of leaving. He would find a replacement before they left. He was always full. He kept his rents reasonable, and he was always 100% full. Another of his criteria was for commercial properties. He always wanted to be on a street that was 35 miles an hour or less. And in general, he actively helped tenants to succeed in their businesses. You want to own the properties yourself inside an LLC. You don't want partners. In other words, you want to row your own boat. Don't form a company, a corporation, I should say. It's not necessary. It limits you what you can do personally. And you want to load up on insurance. We are in a very litigious society. If you want to name your buildings, name them something simple, nothing too majestic. People are drawn to sue a company with a big sounding name. So why put a target on your back? For the same reason, it's actually good to be mortgaged in rental real estate. A fully paid for property is a big, fat, juicy target for a lawyer who wants to sue. Always, always hire real, regular contractors to do work, especially something like electrical work. Don't be a do-it-yourselfer. If you goof something up and somebody gets hurt, you get sued if you've done it yourself. Largely, you make your money in real estate when you buy the property. In other words, you have to buy it right, and then you'll make money. You don't want to count on being able to raise the rents in order to make a profit. When you form an LLC to put the property in, there's one hard, fast rule. Everything you do connected with that property, checks and tenants paying you and so forth, it all has to be addressed by or to the LLC. People have to know that they're dealing with an LLC legally. That's one hard, fast rule. Don't let them make rent checks out to you personally. The reason you use an LLC is to protect your other assets from lawsuits. So if somebody sues you for a property, they can only get whatever's inside that LLC, nothing else. They can't touch your other LLCs or you personally. You'll probably have to deal with a commercial banker with an LLC. There's no way to get around that. That's it for real estate. Hit subscribe and visit my website, rockledgerinc.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye.